Dr. Page.
Hey, how are you doing?
Brad Phillips, nice to meet you from ADP. Nice to finally meet you, and we've been playing phone tag for a while.
Yeah.
But nice to finally get in here and talk about your payroll. So I guess just to get started out, I want to put up a couple different packages for you. So I just want to find out some information about your current payroll system and the cost and some of the time it takes you to do it, so I can really find out what works best for you.
Okay.
So.
Well, as we talked about before, we have the two locations, the one in Peachtree and then the one we have here in Newman. Currently, my wife is handling all of the payroll. We process manual checks. She has to keep up with a spreadsheet for things like the PTO. But this started out as just being for this location, and we have small children, so it's really supposed to be a part-time job. However, with more and more employees means there's a lot more that she's having to answer to. She's getting a lot of emails daily asking about PTO and
more than what she signed up for.
Yeah, a lot more than what she signed up for. So we've kind of been juggling a couple of different things, looking over what you sent me before, and we've also been considering maybe a full-time accountant, just having somebody come in, because I also am having to spend a lot of time between these two locations doing a lot more administration than actual doctor work.
Not what you signed up for either.
Yeah.
Okay, well let me go over some of just the specifics. So you said your wife does all the payroll right now?
Yeah.
And how long is she in the office?
Just a few hours each week trying to pull all the time cards and calculate everything. She also has to run over to the other town, pick up their stuff. So probably 2 to 3 hours, and then that's if everything's going perfectly. If there's a problem or she's got to recalculate things in the spreadsheets, or if somebody took vacation, things like that can just add time to it. And then if there's a mistake on one of the checks, then of course she has to come back into the office, and that can be a problem because of our small children. She'll have to wait until she can drop them off at the mommy's day out or something like that. So.
Okay. What program do you currently use to do our payroll? Do you know which program you use?
I don't know. I think she went down to Office Depot and just picked up something. Yeah, it's just something
Microsoft or something like that.
Yeah.
Do you know how much it costs by any chance? I know Microsoft, they have a yearly charge of like $1,000 or $1,500.
Yeah, it's pretty steep for what it is. Like I say, we still do so much in Excel, so to use that payroll software, I do believe it's about $1,200 a year.
Okay.
And then of course, you basically have to purchase that new software every year anyway. So
keep up with all the regulations.
Yeah.
Okay. So I know you want your wife to have more time, but what's your end goal? What do you want ADP to do for you? What's your perfect scenario?
Well, basically for my wife and I both to get back to what we love. For me to get back into the practice, and for her to be able to just concentrate on the children. This was never meant to be a long-term solution, and she's had to do it for a couple of years now. We were going to have to even expand a little bit more in Peachtree Town, and we were even looking at maybe doing another location just a few miles up the road. So
that would mean more driving for her too.
Exactly. That means probably between those two, the more people that we'll need, the more staff that we need at Peachtree and at this new location, we're probably looking at 15 to 20 new employees. With her already handling 35 employees now, adding 20 employees is probably going to double the amount of time she's spending. Right. It's making it a little bit more full-time for her than what we wanted. Also, it's more money that we're taking away from what we really want to do. We have this goal of opening a new practice and of hiring new employees, and we kind of pride ourselves on keeping our equipment up to date and being kind of cutting edge. So that takes a lot of capital investment for that. So anything where we're funneling money outside and not directed in those areas, it's just taking away from being able to do that. Right. So I'd really like to streamline the process, take her out of it completely, or really minimize her involvement and my personal involvement as well.
Awesome. Okay. So you said your wife manually enters in the payroll and spreadsheets every pay period, right? Do you know about how long she spends doing that?
Like I said, I mean, probably a few hours. Since it's such a manual system, it does take quite a bit of calculation. There's only 35 employees, but I mean, you'd really be surprised between keeping up with the PTO, and we do offer a very basic health benefits here and stuff like that. So trying to track all of that stuff through payroll, and then with utility, or I'm sorry, not utility, but uniform allowances and other things that you have in a doctor's office. It's just a lot of tracking that she has to keep up with. So it can really become, like I said, a full-time job on payroll weeks where she's spending maybe, almost 2 days in the office just to get payroll processed.
Yeah. Some of my other clients, they do manual time cards as like you do, and I think half their frustration was just trying to read the time card.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing that I haven't mentioned, but I mean, because they are manual, people have sloppy handwriting. Sometimes, we misplace a card and we've got to try to backtrack and figure out, when this employee was working, what hours they work, when they took their breaks or whatever. And so I'm sure we're losing money there too. We can't even begin to imagine.
Yeah. Okay. I know you say you guys manually cut checks. There are a few errors. Do you know how many errors or how long it takes you just to solve those?
I mean, we're probably recutting of the 35 employees every other week, maybe 2 or 3 errors that we have. So that's just 2 to 3 checks that are being recut. It doesn't seem like it would be that much, but again, I mean, depending on what the error is, if it's an issue of the employee thinking that they have more PTO and assuming that that's what they took, then maybe we have to go back and reconcile their PTO. And like I said, she only keeps up that really on a monthly basis to send out or to print out an updated schedule for everybody. So making sure that her calculations are correct and that this employee gets their proper pay, because we don't want to make them mad. I mean, it's important that we keep our employees happy. And so there's time that definitely goes into that. If they are submitting receipts for their uniforms, or if they had to do something like that, that is covered by what we, part of our benefits package to our employees, then, I mean, it may be as simple as entering that receipt into the Excel schedule that she keeps, or it may be something a little more difficult as trying to break that receipt down into what's covered and what's not, and even she's had to actually go out to one of our vendors and ask them for more detailed information on what was covered to make sure that the employee actually followed the guidelines for the reimbursements.
Okay, and I know you said earlier you do not offer direct deposit.
No, we don't. No, it's all manual checks.
Do you think your employees would appreciate having that option in the future?
I'm sure. I mean, like I said, sometimes just to get everything ready, we get checks out Friday morning typically, but sometimes it's Friday afternoon. Well, if it's after lunch, then that means when they go on their lunch break, they can't take their check to the bank.
Yeah.
It may be Friday when they leave that they're trying to make the bank, and some banks are closed. I mean, I've heard my employees complain about that before, so it may be Saturday before they get it. And then if there's a whole, even being a payroll check that, the employees worked here for years. I have one employee that's been here with us for 4 years, and she was complaining because her bank still puts like a 3-day hold on every one of her paychecks.
Yeah.
So it's just, I mean, that can be very, very annoying to an employee. So she's actually one that's been asking for that for some time, and like I said, she's been a loyal employee, so that would definitely be an interest to us.
Okay. That's one of our most highly sought after services. Most employees love getting their deposits, usually on midnight, the day before on Thursday.
Okay.
All right, and another one, you said pay time off, your wife keeps up with it every month. Does she get a lot of requests for their paid time off?
Absolutely. I mean, it's October now, so it's kind of dying down, but we're about to get into the holiday season. So it seems between the summertime and then when we approach holiday season, everybody wants to know, number one, what holidays, are covered for this year, and she does keep track of all of that for us so that they know, what days we're off and which of those days are paid. And then also trying to track just, so they can schedule if they're gonna, Christmas is on a Wednesday, so we're closed Tuesday and Wednesday, but we're opening back up on Thursday. So some people are taking off Thursday and Friday, so they can go and visit family or maybe take a small vacation or something like that. So she starts getting those requests now as people are planning for them. And even though she tries to keep that schedule up to date on 35 employees, with each payroll, there's some kind of little adjustment. And, we have to also track, because we have a graduated scale, after 2 years, they get an additional week vacation, things like that. There are rare occasions where I have a surgery and I have to have maybe 1 or 2 of our nurses assist, or even an assistant. And when they do that and it's outside of our normal business hours, we offer comp time. So she also keeps track of that. So it can be very tedious to just keep up with all of the moving pieces. And like I said, when you only do that once a month and somebody wants to know right now, they want to know right now.
Yeah.
They don't want to
figure it out.
wait 2 weeks. Yeah, when they, at the end of the month when she actually provides them with that form, sometimes they don't want to wait. And especially if they know that they just did a surgery last week, so they know that increased their time, and they want to see, okay, well, where does that put me so I can plan this vacation?
Yeah. Well, I think ADP they would love, because we have not only a website with the employees can log on, we also now have a phone app. So they can log on whenever they want, wherever they are, and they'll tell them exactly how many hours they have, what holidays you have covered. You just put it in, beginning of the year, we're covering this holiday, this holiday, this holiday. And throughout the year they can check whenever they want, 24 hours a day. So
great, that would be awesome, actually. I think they would definitely benefit from that.
Okay. Lastly, some of our clients choose to do our banking services, but some don't. We do offer that. So just so I can put a complete package together for you, do you know how much you are getting charged each month for your business account?
We have a couple of different business accounts, actually. Obviously we have one at each of our locations, and then we have an LLC, Page Medical Services, that actually is kind of the ownership of each of our clinics.
Right.
So we have the 2 locations. We have the main umbrella account, and then of course we also have an account that we have just set up for our new location that we're considering. So as we're doing some of the
you pay payroll out of each location.
Oh, we do. We pay them out of each individual account, and so likely, and then of course, actually, the LLC gets paid a contract fee from each location, and then I get my payment based out of the LLC. So that's kind of a weird setup, but anyway. So I know that there's roughly $30 to $50 on each of those accounts, and monthly analysis charges with Comerica. That's who we bank with currently, and so and then also, if we transfer, although that's covered in there, it does increase our monthly analysis charge. So really, it's like a base charge, but then the more we use it throughout the month, kind of that fee goes up and down. So.
All right. Well, I think I got all the information I need. Just to make sure I got it all right. You're using Microsoft or something like that, something from Office Depot. You pay about $200 a month. Your end goal will be to get your wife out of the office as much as possible. I think we can do that. A package we have, all she basically has to do is approve the payroll at the end of each pay period, so she can come to the office for 10 minutes and be on her way. You have 35 employees now. You're going to get 15 more in Tyrone in the expansion. Let's see.
And then maybe 5 more in Peachtree City.
Okay, so 40 plus the 15 in Tyrone. Okay. You're mailing to the payroll, but you kind of want to get direct deposit, up-to-date reporting, and paid time off reporting as well.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think that pretty much includes everything.
Okay. Well, let me put together some packages for you. I'll put up a couple different ones on the complexity of what we can offer. Would you be available maybe this time Wednesday?
Let me look at my schedule. Yeah, let's do 2:30 on Wednesday.
2:30.
That'd be alright with you?
Perfect. Wednesday. All right, Dr. Page, it was nice meeting with you.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you too.
See you soon.